Hello, how are you this morning? I trust that you are well, you are doing well, you woke up well this morning. I want to welcome you to this live stream where we are introducing our first session on our program free ArchiCad training course, where we are offering all our subscribers and all our viewers uh, an option and a chance to study with us, to run ArchiCAD, and to get and gain knowledge on drafting of architectural drawings, structural drawings on the ArchiCAD platform. Therefore, this is an interaction uh, area where you'll be able to give us feedback via our comment area on the proceeds and the way we are moving forward. In case of any question, in case of any comment, we want to encourage you to post us a comment on our comment section so that you're able to address the matters properly as we move on. Therefore, I want to welcome you. Just as I've said, this is our first session on free ArchiCAD training course, where we are offering it in this platform of our online platform that is on technical training channel. And our main objective is just to ensure that we provide our subscribers and all our viewers, wherever they are, a chance to gain knowledge, a chance to be able to boost their capacity in the field of construction, in their design work, by gaining knowledge on matters that are related to drafting or drawings or drawing using ArchiCAD. Therefore, this being an online course, we'll discuss the various aspects that we'll be able to undergo through this training, and we'll expect that those who will be interested will be joining us whenever we have posted a link on these classes, and so that they are able to gain the knowledge that is required in use of ArchiCAD. Therefore, I want to again welcome you. Feel free to comment on our comment session so that we are able to know how we are moving on and whether you are getting us clearly. Therefore, let me go straight and give an overview of what the course will entail and what at the end of the sessions that we've organized in this free online training, we'll be able to cover, and the areas that we will concentrate on in this free online ArchiCAD course. So therefore, just give me a minute so that I share my screen with you, so that you're able to follow up on the areas that you'll be able to cover in this online course. So therefore, I trust you are seeing my screen, and I've just shared whatever we will be able to cover in this online training course. This is an online ArchiCAD training brief course outline that is basically will be delivered on this platform under the banner of technical training channel, and therefore whatever we will do and anything that will entail this course will be done on an online platform. We will have a number of sessions. We'll have a number of sessions, and I want just to give you an overview of the various topics that we will cover under this session or under this course, and then we will see other areas that we'll need maybe to address as we move on. So the first thing that we'll cover in this online course is the introduction to ArchiCAD, and under this area we will look at how we just start a project, or how we launch an ArchiCAD software. Then we'll also look at the ArchiCad workspace, looking at the various palettes that are there, the various toolbars that are there, scale, preferences. We'll also look at introduction to ArchiCAD, that is tools and menus. We'll also look at the drawing area of ArchiCAD and the various tools and sub-tools that are there within the ArchiCAD workspace. So for today, that is what we look at, and we'll also look at like we'll focus more on the wall. We look at the various settings for the wall, how we edit the wall, and the rest. We'll also look at doors and window settings. We'll see how we add doors and windows to walls, doors and window sizes, types. We'll also look at moving windows and doors within the wall, and so many other related settings within the wall. Then we'll also tackle wall dimensioning. We'll see how we can draw walls in particular dimensions. We'll see how we can extend walls. We'll see matters related to columns, beams, and then we'll also look at objects. We'll see how we can insert objects to the plan, internal and external objects. We'll also see how we can change object settings and properties. Another area that we will cover under this online course is roofs and roof settings, using the various roof tools to insert roof, that is automatic roof, manual roofs. We'll also see how we can create openings in roofs, adding new roofs. We'll also see how we can separate modifying roofs to give us different types of roofs that are there and that are used in design work. We'll also see how we can trim roofs. We can trim walls with respect to roof. We can also see how we can add skylights to our roof and to our designs, and even changing roof materials and color. We'll also look at staircase and story settings. So in case you have a story building, how do you go about it? How do you add stories in ArchiCAD? We'll also look at how we do balconies, how we insert rails to balconies. We'll also look at different types of stairs, how we create openings in slab. In case you have you want to create a stairwell, how do you go about it? Then we'll also look at how we generate sections and elevations. Of course, we'll have done floor plans so that we are able now to generate sections, elevations. We'll also look at how we can do settings for various section lines, elevation lines, and so forth. How we edit the elevations in order to render them. Use of fill tool. How we label sections. Then we'll also look at detailing using ArchiCAD. We'll also see detailing and labeling using of fill and detailing. We'll also look at the final bit of this course. We look at how we can place 2D and 3D designs on a plotting paper. We'll also look at how we can place sections, elevations on plotting them on a paper, and of course saving the drawing in different formats, like the PDF format, the DWG format, and we will look at all those and generally how plotting is done for all the drawings that are generated in ArchiCAD. Then we are saying that at the end of the course, we will have definitely there are those who will maybe require to get a certificate or something. So we will discuss that and see maybe the modality of how that can be done. But generally, this is the course outline of the various things that we look at in this online course, and the various components that we'll be able to address in this uh, free ArchiCad online course. Therefore, we will require maybe that at your end, either you have, if you have a laptop or a computer, you can split your screen so that you have an ArchiCad on one side and then you have the stream on the other side, so that you can be able even to follow up on the various components that we'll be doing. Otherwise, if you are using any other gadget that does not allow splitting the screen or having the software, the ArchiCAD software, then you can just have your pen and paper, pick notes as we move on, so that in your own free time you can revisit and be able to execute the commands that we have gone through. Otherwise, again, the same videos are being recorded. We still avail them in our playlist. You can still go back and revisit them in your own free time and be able to re-examine what we've covered in each topic. Therefore, having said that and having presented whatever we will undergo uh, through this course, I want to invite you to discuss a few things for those people who might maybe at the end of the day might need to get a certificate of competence. So just allow me to share with you a few tips on how maybe we will be able to do that. And we are saying that this course is basically a free online course designed for our subscribers and online viewers for them to gain knowledge and skills on use of ArchiCAD in production of building drawings. So we are also saying that for all our online participants who will wish to acquire a certificate of competence after completion of this course, they will be required to pay an amount of Kenya shillings 1,500 just for facilitation to get the certificate. Uh, and we are saying that this certificate will be issued under the name Technical Training Channel, under which this course is being delivered. Of course, it's an online course. And then we are saying that upon payment, the certificate will be emailed to the individual trainee, embedded with a QR code that will give details of the scope covered. So the certificate, of course, is an online generated certificate. It will contain a QR code that anybody or wherever you present the certificate will be able to see from our data bank the areas that you are able to cover, and anybody can trace back and see what you are able to do by the help of this training and the certificate that you have acquired. But of course, we are saying this is for only those people who will be interested with a certificate, but the course is free for anybody who want to join for skills, for knowledge. We are not charging anything. We are just delivering content. But for those who will later maybe require a certificate, that's why we are saying we'll only require 1,500 for us to issue them with a certificate. We're also saying that the certificate will also be issued upon attaining a 60% pass rate in our final online certification exam. Of course, we cannot issue a certificate for people who are not sure that they underwent the course. So we have our own way of how we will administer uh, uh, a certification exam, which one must attain at least 60% to be able for us to certify that they are competent enough to acquire our certificate. Then we are saying that along the way, for those who will be interested with the certificate, we will be giving some continuous assessments, which may be conducted from time to time. We'll also guide how this will be done and how people can give feedback on the various continuous assessments that we'll be able to carry. Then we're also saying that those who will be interested to acquire the certificate will be encouraged to give the following details. One, that is their full name, their email address, and their phone number. And of course, we are saying that they can send these details via this email, that is Waithaka Kimani 79@gmail.com. Of course, this is my email, just as was indicated in our thumbnail for the course. My name is Waithaka, and we will use this email to submit details for those who will be interested to acquire a certificate at the end of the course, so that we can also be preparing for them, and we can also be organizing on how they will acquire this card of this certificate. Of course, those who will be certified, we are not saying that we need you to pay the money upfront. We want you to acquire the knowledge first, but payment can be done along as we go, especially once we'll be nearing the end of the course, so that as even you also decide to pay for the certificate, you will have seen whether whatever we've covered with you is of value to you, because we do not want people to pay for something that they are not feeling worthwhile. And therefore, again, for any question, any clarification, we are requesting that you can kindly inbox me via this WhatsApp number, that is 0735 120 602, in case of any question, in case of any comments. Therefore, having said that, I want to now go back and get into our business of the day. That is the training itself. Those were just some few communications we needed to put across, so that we are able to see how we progress and how we move on. So then when we talk of ArchiCad, we want to see how we launch ArchiCad software, how we launch ArchiCad software, and how we start off drafting using ArchiCad. So therefore, I'll just open a new ArchiCad. I'll just launch a new ArchiCad so that we see how it behaves and some of the settings that we need to observe in the initial status, in the initial startup process of the ArchiCad. But again, if you have any comment, kindly post it in our comment section so that we see and we are aware of how we are proceeding on. In case of a question, in case of a comment, we want to encourage you to post it in our comment section. We'll be addressing them as we move on from time to time. So therefore, for us to be able to launch the ArchiCad software, we'll just go to your start button within your window, and then just select where your ArchiCad shortcut icon is, and then you just click on it and it will launch. So you can just maybe wait a little bit so that it launches. So it's just taking a few seconds. So we are waiting for it to launch. But this is basically the process under which an ArchiCad program undergoes when you are launching it. So we just have to wait for it to load. So once it opens, if it's a machine that you've been using ArchiCAD, it will give you some of the pop-up windows, like whatever we are seeing here. This is a pop-up window for a drawing. If you had done a drawing and maybe you crossed the application without saving it properly, then it will give you an ArchiCAD project recovery, asking you whether you want to recover the various projects that are listed within this window. But for now, we don't want to recover anything. We'll just cancel this so that we go directly to the workspace for the ArchiCAD. We'll just close that. But in case you needed to recover, you just choose the project that you want to recover, and then you just click on open. So therefore, once the ArchiCAD launch is on, it will give you this startup window where you are able to see the various projects that you've been working on, the various projects that you've been working on. They will be listed under this section. But we also have other settings that we need to do in case you do not want to open a project that has been that you've been working on. You want to launch a new project. So therefore, we'll select create a new project, and that will hide the aspect of opening an existing project. And of course, we are using a template that is ArchiCAD 19. And maybe before we even launch a new one, it's also good to note and to say that ArchiCAD software comes in various versions, all the way from ArchiCAD 6 all the way. I believe now we are almost in ArchiCAD 24 or 25 there, or even very newer versions. But for us, we will train under ArchiCAD 19, because ArchiCAD, mostly the general work area and the general commands and execution commands are the same. It's only that sometimes you find the most recent versions are more updated in terms of the library and other few features, but the general architecture of the software is generally the same. So it doesn't matter whether we train with ArchiCAD 19, you can still use the same concept in newer versions, uh, especially uh, if you have a newer version from your end. So therefore, with this, when you're starting a project, we said we want to start basically a very new project with the default settings for the ArchiCAD. So therefore, we'll choose create a new project, and then we will we'll look at the settings under the setup work environment. Setup work environment, if we have a drop down arrow there, and we can see that it allows us to either pick the default profile for the ArchiCAD or the last profile that was used. For us, and for this case, we will select the default profile so that we look at the ArchiCAD workspace as it came from the manufacturer, uh, and that will help us now to understand it better, rather than using the last profile used. Last profile used basically means that we are launching ArchiCAD software on settings that were done by a previous user of the ArchiCAD software. So therefore, for us, we will just pick the default profile so that we are able to look at the settings for ArchiCAD as they came from the manufacturers. Therefore, again, if you do not want to proceed, you can click on quit ArchiCAD, and the whole process will log off. But for us, we want to create a new project, we want to create a new layout, and therefore we will click on new. and then it will load the library, it will load the other templates within the ArchiCAD. Just give it time to launch the ArchiCAD workspace. So this is generally how a default profile for ArchiCAD workspace looks like. You can see we have even the default elevation lines. But for this case, because later on we will customize our elevations. We want just to delete these default settings for the elevation, so that later on we can customize and do our own elevation line. So what I will do, I'll just click on them and click one of them and delete. Just press your delete key in your computer, and it will ask you whether you want to delete. So we can delete the view, and we also delete again. So we can do the same for the other. Just delete them, so that we have an area, a space that is that will be able to do our own customized elevation lines later on. So you can select by clicking on the elevation line, and then hit the delete key in your keyboard from your computer or your laptop. Or else you can select and right click on the empty space and select delete. It will still give you the same option. So we just want to have a free space that we can interact with, and we'll use even to when we start executing our drawings. So the once you launch the ArchiCAD, it is advisable that the first thing you do is to save the environment under a particular name that you are or under the name of the project that you are working on. And that is exactly what I want us to do. We want to save this work area, this workspace, under a name that we'll be able to retrieve in future. And for us to do that, we'll just go to File, then we'll select Save As, and that will take us back to our PC or to our computer, and it will request us to state the name of the file under which we are saving the workspace, and we can just call it TTC, that is Technical Training Channel. You can say session 1. Session 1, that is the name of the file. And then under that, we also required to specify the save as type, or the mode or the type of document we want to save it. And for this case, because it's an ArchiCAD file, we have quite a number of options to choose from. But for us, we will choose ArchiCAD Solo project. That is the file name, the save as type that we will choose, and that is what we choose for an ArchiCAD file or an ArchiCAD document. Later on, we will look at other various modes. We have like the JPEG, we have the PDF format, the DWF format, PNG. All of them are here, so it's a matter of choosing whatever format you need. But for now, we will choose ArchiCAD Solo project, and then we'll also specify where we want our drawing to be saved. And for this case, we will save our drawing in desktop. We'll save our drawing in desktop. The name is TTC Session 1. And then, of course, we hit the Save tab. And that, you can see from the title bar, we've already saved this workspace or this document under the name TTC Session 1. So that is the first thing that we do when we are working on an ArchiCAD project. Therefore, again, I will continue and look at the ArchiCAD workspace and see how the various commands and the various components that are there are basically organized. And in this workspace, of course, we have the menu bar where we have different menus that are available within this workspace. We have the file. Under the file, we see we are able to create a new document. We are able to share. We can open an existing document. Like we can see what has been done previously in ArchiCAD. We can close the project. We can continuously keep on saving the project, saving the various operations that we've done. We also have the save as aspect, like the one we've already used when we are saving the document. Then we also have other aspects, the file special, external content. If you need to place external content, if it's an image or something else, a drawing or anything, as long as it's an external content that is saved in your PC, you are able to bring it into this workspace. We also have libraries and objects. We look at them when we'll be executing our project within this space. We also have the prod setup, we have the printing, we have the exit command, and we'll be able to look at them when we'll be dealing with a project and drafting some project within this workspace. Therefore, we also have the edit. We have the undo, select all, find and select. So we'll be able to look at them. Grouping, how you can suspend groups within the ArchiCAD, how the display order. We can see some of them are dormant simply because we do not have anything that we are working on. But anything that is listed under this menu, we look at them and we'll see how they interact with within the workspace when we have a project that we'll be working on. So for today, we are just looking at this ArchiCAD workspace. We see what it contains, the elements that are there, so that we familiarize ourselves with this workspace. And then in our subsequent sessions, we will go now into details on how we use these various components that are within the ArchiCAD workspace. So we also have a view menu where we can navigate between stories, between section and derivations, and it has quite a number of other aspects. They will be well explained or well understood when we'll be working with a design. We also have under the design, this is one of the most important thing under design is the story settings. And story settings, this is an option where it gives us uh, an option to either add a story or delete or even uh, set the heights for the story or the height of the building, the headroom for the ground floor. Like we can see the ground floor, it's from 0 to 3100. In most cases, the dimensions are in millimeters. So this is a ground level, has a story height of 0 to 3100. So if you want to change, you just type the correct height level for that particular design. Then the first story, it's from now 31, where we from the previous one, and then it has another headroom of or a height to the next floor of 3100, 62. Then it will increase the elevation. The other elevation from second floor now starts from 62, and it has again the same height as 3100. So this is where you insert, if you want to insert a basement, like a level of a story level that is below the ground level. So you just select the ground level, and then you insert below, and that way now you have as a level that is below the ground floor. There could be a number of them. There could be 2, 3, depending on which. So you just keep on inserting below, and the rest. So you can still delete them. You can select and delete them under the delete tab. Again, you can still increase the number of stories by adding above that. We've added the third one, the fourth one, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. So it doesn't matter the number of the stories that you have. It doesn't matter the number of floors. You can still add floors in between. You can insert above, you can add floor in between, or you can continuously increase them. So that's another tab that is very important that we'll use it quite extensively. Uh, and definitely once you are through with the setup here, you just hit the OK button and you have changed the setting for the story height for this particular workspace. And for this case, we don't want to do any settings. We just want to maintain whatever we had before. So you just cancel. And you can see from this navigator box, we only have the ones that we had: the ground floor, first floor, and the second floor. Then the other area is a document. And document, we will be able to see a number of things. We can see the various tools that are there within the ArchiCad, the dimension, the level dimension, angle dimension, fill to line, all of them are listed there. But the most important subtool that we'll use here is what we call the document extra. And the document extra will be able to do what we call automatic dimensioning for our floor plans. And automatic dimensioning assists us to put dimensions automatically in a floor plan on all the 4 sides. So you just put them automatically by a click of button. We have all the dimensions displayed in our floor plan. We will do that. We will see how we do that. We also have the pen sets, various pens for various items. We also have the 3D component. We'll be able to toggle between 3D and 2D so that we can see how our drafting experience, our the documents or the drawing that we'll be working with, how they are developing. We also have the schedules and list, like we have door schedules, element list, window schedules, object inventory. We'll have all of them here, and we can see how we can quantify, and we can be able to tabulate the number of objects that we've placed in our drawing, the number of doors, the number of windows that are there, the various types, and the elevation of view, their plan view. We'll be able to see all those from this section. We also have the option. And the option, we are able to set different layer settings, different lines type, different fields. We can change different settings for various fields. If it's a concrete field, we are able to change the settings. We also have pens and color. We are able to set the various sizes of pen. If you want a pen that has a different thickness, how do you do that? How do you change it? We'll be able to do that under this section. And of course, we have again, we have window is another quite important menu that we will utilize. Even today, we'll be able to see how this menu affects us and how it affects the workspace for the ArchiCad, and how it can help us to toggle between the various components and tools that we have in this workspace, especially under the palettes. We look at palettes and see what palettes offer, because most of the tools that are displayed within this workspace are actually housed in palettes, because we can see the toolbox, we can see the information box, status bar, navigator. We have the the navigator preview. All these profiles are there and available for us to use them in CAD. We even have the library loading report. Sometimes you open an ArchiCAD, you find that it doesn't have the windows, it doesn't have the doors. How do you load them back? We'll be able to see that through the library loading report. Coordinates, sometimes you find that you want to type some dimensions, you are not able to type. We'll see how we can bring back the coordinate box within the workspace. Then of course we have the others. Again, the same menu bar has been represented by some icons within this row that gives us the same components that you've seen in the menu bar. Like for this case is a new, if you want to open a new project, you can just click. This is a shortcut to a new project. We also have the save tab. Instead of going direct to the file menu for us to be able to save, sorry for that. In order for us to be able to save, then we can just hit directly on the save tab and we'll be able to save. We have the printing option, but we can still print via the file menu and be able to print. But these are just shortcuts to various commands that are housed within the menu bar. And we'll be using most of them quite often because they are quite important as we work on our as we sharpen our drafting skills. We have the undo, we have the find and select. We'll use them. We have pickup parameters. We have the inject parameters tool. So we will use them and see how they'll be able to help us and to make life easy when we are interacting or when we are designing or drafting using ArchiCAD. Having said that, then I want just to hide some of these uh, navigation tools and some of these tools that are appearing in my workspace so that we can see how we can bring them back, in case we find ourselves in this scenario. Like we have the toolbox. If for one reason or the other you close it down, how do you bring it back? We have the information box. How do you bring it back if for one or two reasons you've deleted it from the workspace? How do we bring them back? Earlier on, I talked about the window menu, and we talked of the palette. So this is how we will be able to bring back those tools that are not visible in our workspace, because once the workspace is in this state, we are not able to navigate, we are not able to do anything, and it will be very hard for us to draft or to design using ArchiCAD. So therefore, for us to be able to bring those palettes back, or those tools back, we'll come to the window menu, and then we will go to the palettes. And just as I had said earlier, under palettes, that's where most of those tools are housed. And then what we just need to do is to just identify the ones that we want to bring back. One of them was Toolbox, and we just click on Toolbox and you find that it comes back. Of course, it's not by default situated there. You can just pick it and place it wherever you want in the workspace, depending on how you would like it. For my sake, I like it on that left hand side. Then we can go ahead and bring the rest of the tools that we had before, so that we can look at what they offer to us in this workspace. So again, I will move to window. I'll go to palettes. Then I will click on info box, and you can see that it has come back. The information box has come back. So I'll just reorganize it a little bit. So I'll just reorganize it so that it's at that point. And then we will see we'll see how the toolbox impacts our navigation and our maneuvering within the workspace. Then the other one that I would wish to bring back, which is quite important for us to as we use ArchiCad, is what we call the navigator. The navigator. So I'll just go back to Window, Parent, and then I'll look for navigator and I'll click on it, and it will come back again. Just as we've said, it doesn't have to be positioned at this corner. We can still change it from where it is and place it where we want it to be, depending on how comfortable or how we want to navigate through this ArchiCAD project. Again, you can expand them by use of your cursor. You can expand them to suit your operating how you want to operate. And I think that majorly depends on you as a person, how you want to organize your workspace. So that's how we, in case for one reason or the other, you find that you've crossed them down, that's how you can bring them back. So you just go back to Window, Parent, and then just select whatever you want from this list that is listed under the parent. Therefore, having said that, let us look at the relationship between the toolbox, the information box, and the navigator. How important are they for us, and why do you need them in our workspace, and what do they offer us when we are designing? What do they offer us when we are designing? So when we talk of the toolbox is where major components in ArchiCAD are basically situated, or that's where you find them. We talk of the walling, we talk of the door, we talk of the windows, columns, beams, slab, stairs, roof, shell, skylight, curtains, objects, mesh, all of them are housed here. So this is a very important component within the ArchiCAD area that gives us these components, and we will extensively use them to draft and to come up with design. We also have the toolbox is again organized in a number of sections. Like under design, there is this drop arrow. If you click on this drop arrow, you can hide the components within design, or you can expand them, and that will give us those components that are under design. Then we also have another area which is known as document. Under document, we have things like dimension, level, text tool, we have the labeling tool, we have the fields, we have the line, circular line, we also have the polyline, we also have the elevations, the sections, and we will use them and see how they assist us in drafting. Therefore, we have the information box. And maybe before I explain the importance of information box, it's also good to note that under toolbox we have the arrow button, and arrow button helps us to deactivate the cursor. Like now we can see the cursor is active with the mesh, because if you look at the toolbox, you can see that the mesh is highlighted. So therefore, for us to deactivate the cursor and to free the cursor from any engagement, we'll always click the arrow tab and ensure that the cursor is free. So the arrow tab again is very important. We also have the marquee tool. Marquee, we will see how marquee is used. We have quite a number of marquee options, and we will see how they are utilized within the workspace. So therefore, then we can look at the toolbox, not the toolbox, we can look at the information box and see the importance of the information box. So the information box, just as the name suggests, it gives us information about a tool or an object that you've selected in ArchiCad. Like for instance, if you click on wall, you'll see that the information box is populated with the information about the wall, whether it's a straight wall, a circular wall, a wall that has that is truncated at some point. If is the fields, the various wall, the sorry, the height of the wall, the thickness of the wall, they are all populated within the information box. So if you scroll through the knob of your mouse, you are able to toggle between the various settings for the wall. If you click on door, again it will be populated with information about the door, and you are able to directly access that information under this information box. If you talk of the slab, it will give you the details, it will give you information about the slab, and you can be able to change the settings directly under the information box. Again, you'll find that it allows you or gives you a setting dialog tab that if you click on that, it gives you another pop-up window where now you can be able to see the settings in a more elaborate way, and you're able to toggle between or to navigate between the various settings that are there using the various tabs and the various drop arrows that are available within this setting. You can see we have the thickness, we have the material, we have like the model, we can change the material of the slab and the rest, but they are not active simply because we are not working on any slab. If we talk of the door, if you open or click on the setting dialog, it gives you more information about the wall. You are able to set the height of the wall. You are able to choose which type of wall you want. You are able to choose the reference line for the wall, and it gives you more leeway. Or the information that was displayed here, again now you can is displayed in a more elaborate way, that you are able to do the settings for that particular component. If you are talking of the windows, again, if you click on the setting dialog, it gives you this pop-up window that now can give you more details about the various windows that are there in ArchiCAD, and you are able to choose and do settings again. You can see we have the bay windows. Under bay windows, we also have under this window default setting pop-up window, we can do quite a number of settings on the doors. We can add the windows, we can adjust their sizes, we can adjust their height, where they are placed, they will be placed within the wall. We can do all that here, and we'll be doing that as we move on. We have more settings that we can do. We can adjust uh, the sizes of the frames and the rest, which we'll do as we move on. We also have the window opening, the arches, various of them, how we can insert, we can set their settings so that they appear in our walling or in our designs. So we have all of them. Under this window tab, and that is the importance of the information box, because it allows you to now be able to do more settings for the various components that are there within the toolbox. Then we have the navigator. Navigator is very important in ArchiCAD when we are working on drawings or when you are designing with ArchiCAD, because the navigator helps us to navigate between floor to floor or from one height to the other height. It also helps us to navigate between elevations. If we have a number of elevations, they will be listed under elevation. If we have quite a number of sections, they will be listed under section. It also helps us to navigate from the workspace, the ArchiCAD workspace, to the various layouts that are there, or the various drawing papers that we'll be able to save our documents in. Like we have the layout books, we have the various layout books, the master layouts, the A1, the A2, the A3, A4. When you want to create a new layout, this is where we do that. And we'll be able, this is where we save or combine our various drawings. If it's the floor plan, we will place them in a layout, like an A1 layout. You are able now to get a layout where you can organize your drawings. You can bring your floor plan, whatever, however many they are. You can bring your elevations, your sections, and organize them in this layout. So this is an A1. If you want an A2, A3, A4, all of them are here. And we are able to toggle between the layout and the ArchiCAD workspace. That is from ground floor to first floor to the rest. So that is the work of navigator, and it's very important for us because again we can also see the generic perspectives for the designs that we've done. The 3D designs will be able to generate them from the navigator box. Then again, under the same ArchiCAD workspace, we have the row at the bottom where we have the various components again that are also again very useful. Like we have the scale tab. Under the scale tab, we are able to change the scale of the drawing or the scale of the layout from one scale to the other. We have quite a number of scales depending on the type of project that we are working on. We are able to choose the scale from this tab here at the bottom. So we can change it from the onset of our design. If we are doing a detailed drawing or a detail of a certain component within the building works or within the design, we can choose the scale from this tab from the onset of our design. Again, we can do that later on when we are saving our drawings on the layout. It will be able also to check the various options that are there. So we also have the other resolution tab or the zoom tab that gives us the resolution as we work on the or the zoom aspect as we work on the drawing. So if you can increase that by rolling your cursor, your mouse roller button, and you are able to roll and increase and decrease the way you view your design. Again, we also have other tabs that we will see how they work once we are working with them. Like we have the pan. You can use the pan to remove or to move a drawing from one space to the other, from one point to the other, and we will see how all these items in our workspace interact when we are working on a design or we are drafting using ArchiCAD. So therefore, I think that those are quite major in a nutshell, the various components that we'll be using in the ArchiCAD workspace. And it will be very important for us to understand them. But basically, we will be able to understand them when we'll be using them, when we'll be drafting and the rest. So we will approach the interaction within the ArchiCAD by executing the commands by use of a design. wherever we are. uh, and maybe before we even designing in our next session, we will look at quite a number of commands that are there that are used in ArchiCAD that are very important for us going forward. We will see the various commands that we'll be majorly using when we start drafting, because whatever we saw earlier in our course outline, we'll be able to cover them as we execute a particular design in ArchiCAD, and we'll be able to see to that we cover everything like we've envisioned, we've planned in our course outline. So therefore, I think for us for today, we will stop at that, because today we wanted basically to see how we how we operate with the card, how we launch it, how we start a new project, how we launch the workspace, the various components that are there in the ArchiCAD work area. But the actual now utilization of these components will come from our next class, which we will be able to set up and communicate in due time and in good time, so that we be able to organize ourselves and be able to join in. And maybe just a recap of whatever we've done in our today live stream. We started by looking at the various components that we will look at in our ArchiCAD. So I don't need to go back through it. It will be available in our playlist. You'll be able to see the various areas that we will cover, and the various things that we discussed when you are starting this live stream. So therefore, allow me to thank you very much for streaming with us, for joining our stream, and for accepting to even update and get more knowledge on this area. Otherwise, I want to thank you very much. Again, I want to invite you to subscribe to our channel, because most of these sessions, once they are created, once you are a subscriber, you'll definitely get a notification uh, directly without even us reaching you on our other media platform. But we will still do so. But kindly promote us by sharing our content, by subscribing, and being part of this uh, technical training channel. We appreciate your contribution. We appreciate your support. For those who've already subscribed, we really appreciate, and we want to thank you for the support that you've given us this far. And we are able now to even get to reach quite many more people within this channel, because we want to extend our knowledge and we want people to be able to participate in what we do. Therefore, I want to thank you very much, and may God bless you for being with us. Thank you.